It's your boy Widgie here, coming in with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, and we actually finally have the PvP notes here for November's update. So it's been a good few months now since we've actually had anything really from the developers, and I've had a quick skim through this, and I'm not going to go through absolutely everything because I don't want this to be like a video that goes on for over like an hour or anything ridiculous like that. So we're just going to be covering the main things over various civs and what it means for Age of Empires 3 going forward once this update is in full effect. Now, it is a PvP, so it is a preview build, so there will be some changes before the actual update in November, but let's have a quick look and see what is happening. So we're going to have a quick scroll down here and have a little flick through the general section here at the moment. We can see certain things such as the Giant Grenadier. Population cost has been reduced on that, and hit points have been reduced as well, along with melee damage. I'm just having a look here. The Granary, it says the field aura has been expanded to support an extra line of fields. That's interesting. That's actually quite a decent buff to the African civs there. I don't know whether that must also apply to when you're hunting as well. So that's actually quite a big one there. That's quite kind of crazy, that one right there. I am just going to have a little look through, and if there's anything that I sort of have a look at, and if there's anything that pops out or jumps out at me, then I will be obviously going over it. But let's have a quick look here at the cards and technologies quickly. As I say, there will be a link down below to the PvP notes, guys, so you can check them out as well. But let's just have a look. So we've got cards and technology here. Advanced stock fixed an issue that allowed sending the card infinitely. Okay. Yeah, there's other cards here that I've never really used myself. But of course, if they apply to you, then there they are. Right, let's get on to the juicy bits. The Civ balance, of course. So immediately here we can see Aztecs. Now the Founder card, this is a card that half of the people that would open with Aztec in Age 1 would macro to get this big button, and it basically increases the XP that your Explorer can get, or that units around the Explorer can get when they kill units. So sometimes you would like to go for this very sort of early on in Age 1, and then you'd get more XP. What doesn't make sense is now the cost of this is 100 of each resource, up from 50, which basically means that it was 50 wood, food, and coin, I believe. Now it's going to be 100 food, wood, and coin, which is an extra 150 resources, which is insane. So you're never going to get this in H1 now. It's probably something later on in the game that you might want to get, maybe in H2 potentially. But I really don't understand this change, to be honest, for Aztec. They're already in an unusual place at the moment. I wouldn't say that they're bad, but I wouldn't say that they're very good. But anyway, we do see the Jaguar Prowler Knight, of course, is getting a nerf to the combat promotion, which is fair enough. The rewards are now being reduced to 10, 20, and 30% rather than 15, 25, and 45. So that's quite significant, especially the third promotion there, 45%, and now it's only going to be 30%. I don't know what this is. The Otsuma Citadel in Age 3 now also adds +1 to build limit for synergy with the Mayan Pyramids technology. As I say, I don't really use that card, I believe, that much myself. The British, let's have a look. Gentleman of the Pike now sends 17 Pike up from 10. That's kind of crazy because this is a card that was recently used by Callan in one of my videos where he did a fast industrial and he used Gentleman of the Pike. Now this sends 17 pikemen up from 10, which is kind of insane. So Callan's going to be very happy with that. That's really going to help him with his FI builds that he does. Let's have a look at the Dutch. We have the Blue Guard. Now improve upon reaching the Imperial Age by 30%, up from 25. Infantry attack and combat in both Age 2 and Age 3 here now also affect Blue Guards. That's pretty decent for Dutch if they do want to go down the Blue Guard route. The Red Lancers fixed a bug where the Red Lancers would lose multipliers when switching stances. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the Ethiopians here. They improved the cannon trade in Age 4 for 250 influence. Don't really know what this is, but can be researched after imported cannons Splits artillery cost into 40. Okay, so it's a change that you can get with Ethiopians with training artillery from the palaces, I believe. Let's have a look at the French. Napoleonic era, the French Revolution. I'm going to be honest right now, guys. Regards to revolutions, I'm not going to cover them. I'm most likely Lion will cover it. Lionheart will cover it. He specializes in revolts and stuff like that. I don't myself. So I'm going to skim past the revolt section because I just do not have enough knowledge when it comes to that stuff. And I'm sure some of you guys out there do. And of course, you could check the link down below and check it out for yourself. Let's have a look at the Germans here. We have the advanced dock. No longer sends a dock wagon for Germans. Okay, so a bit of a nerf there for Germany. Improved mercenaries in age 3. Okay, so mercenaries actually getting a bit of a hit here. So HP and damage being reduced from 20% to 15%. Wow. The Prince Electors in age 1 doubled most build limits for allied native units. The Wallenstein's contracts in age 3. No longer removes coin cost of the mercenary shipment. Instead, mercenaries train faster and are cheaper. Cost reduced to 1,500 coin from 3,000. Wow. I didn't even know what this card was. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My knowledge of some of the Eurocivs is quite limited, but that seems quite a drastic change. Whether that's a buff or a nerf, I can't say for sure. But the advanced dock and this one here, definite nerfs there for Germany, but I think still absolutely fine. Hausa here. Now, this looks quite bad. When I skimmed through it, I did look at Hausa before the video, and it does look bad, but I still think Hausa is a very strong civ. So, Fulani Archer, let's have a look here. So, movement speed has been reduced, and the line of sight, there's an issue. There was an issue that's now been addressed. Okay, so really it's just the movement speed. Slight reduction for Fulani, but still, the main thing with the Fulani is the fire rate, and it's the range of them once you get the upgrade card for them as well. That's the main thing that's an issue for them. So that hasn't been looked at or addressed or changed at all. Improved cannon trade. Once again, this was the same with the Ethiopians. The Raider. So the cost of the Raider is now increased very slightly here by an extra 5 coin per Raider. Not the end of the world. Sarkin Dugari, I don't know what this is, fixed to visual glitch there with the Mangadar unit. There's an age 4 card here that I'm not aware of. Converted Kingdom Builders now correctly provide 200 influence. Okay. This is one of the big ones here. The Songhai Alliance, right? So this is the age up option that most of the time, 90% of the time, maybe 80%, you're going to want to go with when you go from age 1 to 2. So now it delivers 200 coin down from 300. So this is quite significant. So it means it's going to take you longer to get raiders out, and also raiders now cost a little bit more. So your initial kind of massing of raiders is going to be slowed down a little. The big button ability as well now is going to take an extra 5 seconds to get your raiders out, but it still costs the same. No change there. So overall, really, the only real impact here is the fact that it's going to take you just a little bit longer to mass your raiders early on, but you're still going to have the power of the Fulani. They're going to be slightly slower, but still, they're still going to be a very decent unit. The raiders themselves are going to be decent, and that slight increase of 5 coin per raider, you're talking a batch of them costing an extra 50 coin overall, right? No, sorry, an extra 25 coin for a full batch, which is very, very minimal. So I think, yes, it is a nerf to Hausa, but I don't think it's... I still think they're a very strong civilization, even after these changes. Something that's kind of a strange change, and I don't really understand why, is the Forest Prowler. So a very, very slight HP reduction here. Do not understand that at all. Maybe I'm missing something. Why that's specifically changed by that amount, it is very unusual. And the range damage has been reduced to 19 from 20. So I think Bram mentioned to me the reasoning behind that. I think there is another card that Howd have that does increase their skirmisher damage, and that's why they got reduced. But still, very limited amount and kind of unusual. So Inca, the Chasqui. So this is obviously one of the videos that I mentioned, which one of Kinesis' kind of sort of openings and strategies where he abuses the Chasqui with the support card. And we can now see that the improvements of the Chasqui from age 3 and upwards are now plus 8 damage per age rather than 10, 15, and 15. So the Chasqui is not going to be as crazy. Another big change here is the Chimmy Runner. So melee damage is being reduced by -1. How significant that is going to be in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. We're just going to have to see. The Harukas, I don't really agree with this because they've been messing around with this now over the past 2 or 3 patches. So the Haruka now, the multiplier against artillery is now reduced from 2.5 to 2. However, it gets an increased to 2.5 again upon researching the champion Harukas, which are in age 4. So I still think Harukas are viable. Just don't really understand why they needed to do this. I think it's probably because of the fact that Chimmy Runners are still pretty decent against artillery because of their pathing. They can weave in between and they will get to the artillery, your enemy's artillery, and deal with it. However, they're obviously addressing the melee damage from the Chimmy Runner. So, yeah, I don't know. Apparently with the Priestess now, successful conversions now play a sound. Interesting. And there's an age 1 thing here for the Chasqui speed improvement, apparently. There's another card for that. They've addressed that and nerfed that as well. So, yeah. So, nerfs round there for Inca. How impactful that is, I haven't really been using the Chasqui. I don't think you need to worry about the Chasqui too much. Chimmy Runner, obviously, that we're going to have to see how that one plays out. The Harukas, some people don't even use the Harukas. Some people just use the age 2 kind of composition in age 3, and it still works very well as a Civ. So I think they're still an okay, decent Civ. Obviously some nerfs there, but not too bad. India, this is a Civ that I never see anymore. They've just been blasted off the map because of their shipment XP penalty change. So now this has been addressed slightly, and it's been buffed a little bit more now. And the penalty has been reduced from 10% now to 9%. I still think that India are still going to struggle. But we'll see. We'll see if they do crop up a little bit more on the ladder. Let's have a look at the Italians. Architect now takes 34 seconds to train, up from 25 seconds. So that's actually longer now to train architects even more. Speed has been reduced as well. Wow, even more nerfs going to Italy here. And I rarely actually play against Italy, I've got to say. Rarely play against them. Freemasonry in age 3 fixed an issue that allowed architects to construct forts when a fort card has been sent, and lets architects construct military buildings only 45% faster before only walls. Okay, so that is actually a bit of a buff there, so they can make military buildings a little bit faster. The Schiavoni, range reduced to 18 in age 2, but automatically increased to 20 in age 3. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at the Japanese here. A Civ that I don't see that much myself either. So we have an age 3 card here. The Bakufu. The Daimyo speed increase is reduced to 5%, and line of sight increase reduced to 10. So that's a nerf there on that card for the Japanese. And then an 8 Samurai card in age 4. And there's just a bug fix there for that. Okay. Interesting. Lakota, one of my main Civs. Let's have a look. 7 Council Fires in age 4. This is a card that's been changed various times. Cost has been reduced to 250 coin now. However, it ships 4 Club Warriors, 3 Wakinas, instead of 2 Chetan, 2 Club Warrior, and 3 Wakina rifles. Right, so basically they're adding a Club Warrior and removing 2 Chetan Bowmen. This is such a weird card now, this 7 Council Fires. It really is. I think I have it in my deck. I also have the Akichita card in age 4, but yeah, honestly, I rarely send it. I'm going to be honest with you, but okay. So can't really say. I mean, could be a nerf, might not be. You have to do the maths on the units there, but the cost is quite clear that it has been reduced as well. I think it's just an adjustment overall. Maltese, the Wigton Court construction. Fixed the range display for the aura on several buildings, and that is it. Malta have not changed, ladies and gents. Mexico. Wow, few changes here. Few changes. Advanced frontier defenses. Cost reduced to 150 wood. Wow, okay. So the Central America Revolt. That's a card that you get when you do revolt to Central America. So that's nice. The Chinaco. Oh, okay. So damage bonus against heavy cav has been reduced slightly. So a nerf there for the Chinarcos. Outlaw combat for the filibusters. That cost has been reduced. Okay. And various other cards here that have had a few buffs here. Look at this one here in age 3. That is very, very cheap. And the Salvadoran coffee now caps at 10 settlers. Wow, okay. So that's a card that every time you would send a card, you get an extra settler added to that card when you want to send it. So it's based on how many cards have been sent previous. So that actually caps at 10 settlers, which is fair, which definitely should happen. Let's have a look at Ottomans. Abyss Gunner, costing a little bit more coin now. Okay, slight nerf there then. A semi-Oglin, I don't even know what that is in Age 4. No longer affects Abyss Gunners, but Ottoman Heavy Infantry instead. I don't know what that card is because of the name of it. I'm sorry, guys. The Azaps. So there's been a bit of abuse with the Azaps. Recent meta and stuff, a lot of people have just been massing them and it's just been ridiculous. They do now cost an extra 5 wood each unit and they take a little bit longer to train. Also corrected the damage multiplier in melee from ranged shock infantry to just shock infantry. Okay, so really not a huge difference. I mean, they cost a little bit more. They take a little bit longer to train, very slightly though. Honestly, I think people are still going to use the Azaps. There's definitely something funky going on with that unit that needs to be addressed, but maybe it's just me. Okay, the Hambarachi. Cost has now increased for those as well. I rarely see the Hambarachis at all, so increasing the cost doesn't really make a lot of sense to me personally, but whatever. The Yuruks, which are basically the settlers. Town centre construction rate has been slowed down to 50% from 15%. Wow. Wow, so settlers take a lot longer now to build the TCs. That's probably to prevent the booming, potentially. Because you'd always ship 1,000 wood in Age 3, then you'd go ahead and build TCs, right? So maybe that's to slow that down and give the opponent the opportunity to stop that. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at Portuguese here. So just having a quick flick through here, having a look. Oh my God, a big one at the bottom, ladies and gents. A big one at the bottom. The target lock has been removed for the organ guns. Wow. Thank the Lord. That was kind of insane. Not going to lie. Because the minute that thing was locked on, even if you were out of range, nothing could be done. And your units would just get obliterated. And I think it was a little bit silly. So now removing that is really, really nice. The Order Basterio in Age 4 no longer reduces the crossbowman cost. Okay, so once again, that is something in a recent video that I did where Revnak played Portuguese and he used the Order Basterio's card. And now that's quite a significant nerf. No longer reduces the crossbowman cost. There we go. All right. And yeah, I think this is the one that he also did as well, where yeah, crossbowmen no longer benefit from the promotions but instead have their costs reduced and are given rifles. I don't know, maybe I'm getting confused. Let me know down in the comments below if that's the same thing as the video that I recently did with Revnak. Let me know, guys. Anyway, moving on. So have a look at Russia here. Fix the grunt voices of the recruits and the Poruchiks. Okay, interesting. Now this is something interesting here. 6 Poruchiks have been added. So 6 halberdiers basically have been added to the home city in Age 2. This is really big for Russia because it gives Russia more options now, and having 6 Poruchiks is pretty decent. They've got decent siege, and having them very early on as well against any cav civ can be quite good, because normally when you play against Russia you tend to open up with cav early because Russia really struggle against any kind of cav early in the game. So having 6 Poruchiks in deck is nice. They've been given 17 Hussars in Age 4 for 2,000 coin. Interesting. Landed Gentry in Age 2 has been moved to Age 1. I don't know what this card is. Landed Gentry. I don't know what that does. I'd have to have a look at it. The Poruchik here, so some changes once again. They're a bit more tanky now. Extra 10 HP. Nice. And also their damage has been increased. And upgrades now scale from above 20% lower base values. I don't know what that means. Going to be honest with you guys. But looks like a buff all round for the Poruchiks. They obviously want them to be used more in the game. We haven't really seen them that much, to be honest. So there we go. Spanish, Marvelous Year, set the train time is now reduced by 25% instead of that. So a nerf to the Marvelous Year card in age 3. And there's an age for Walloon guards here. Cost has been reduced on those significantly as well. United States, this is the big one. So we've seen Hauser, which is obviously a very, very strong civ at the moment. An even potentially stronger one is the United States. So let's see what is happening here, ladies and gents. So the Carbine Cavalry, the rate of fire has now been slowed, and damage, however, has been increased to 19. So I think overall, Carbine Cavalry have had a slight nerf here. The Morris Canal, I don't even know what that is. Future shipments arrive in 10 seconds up from 5. So that's a nerf to whatever that is. I'm not too sure. The Boston Tea Party, coin conversion rate down to 15% from 25. So once again, that's a nerf. The Advanced Homesteading. So this is the kind of the card that would basically add the population to your mills. So it was always a strategy that I've, sort of covered on my channel in the past. So it adds 5 population space to mills and estates, down from 10, and increases the line of sight by only +8. So we're not really going to be seeing that advanced homesteading now, I don't think. It's just not worth it. Connecticut Shipwrights. Once again, not too sure what this card is, but improves artillery train time by 15% down from 25, and heavy cannons by -10. So a nerf there to the Connecticut Shipwrights. Hamiltonian Economics. This is one where you get the free economic shipments on your market. Now correctly improves market buy rates by 5%. So nothing's changed on that. If anything, it's buffed it. Indiana Mobilization no longer reduces the train time of heavy cannons. Once again, not too sure what that is, but that's always a plus there for United States. This is what I want to have a look at. The Kentucky Hunters. Added cost of 500 coin. Now, the Kentucky Hunters is the one where you get a sharpshooter. It's not just a sharpshooter. You also get owl hoots, I believe, but you get a sharpshooter for every card that you've basically shipped, and it's pretty insane. Now it costs 500 coin to send that, so that is a huge change there. Massive nerf there for United States with that card. And also the same for this one, Kentucky Coalfields, a very, very nice card as well. That is also going to cost you 200 wood, ladies and gents, to send that, where you get 2 coal mines. Wow. And another big one, German Immigrants. Now the cost of this is increased to 250 wood. It's going to take you a little longer to get that if you want to go for German Immigrants as well. So overall there, some decent nerfs to the United States. And obviously we do now see, what do we see? Some revolution stuff here. Just going to have a quick look at the Outlaw Combat. A cost of 750 coin removed in all revolutions, except the Bay of California. What? That is interesting. Cost of 750 coin removed in all revolutions. Okay. Right. Fix the duplicate appearance of this card when revolting from Malta. Okay. That is interesting. What does that mean? That is nuts. So revolting is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper apart from the Bay of California. Wow. Here are all the revolts and all the changes. I'm not going to go through these guys, as I mentioned at the start of the video. I'm not going to go through them. So if you want to check them out, please do. And at the bottom here, we have some changes to the maps. So some map changes like Arabia, for example. They're adjusting the huntable animals and improving resource placements and all that good stuff, which is very nice to see. And something I like to do at the end, I like to have a look at the latest comments. And obviously, one's already been deleted by the author for some reason. Nice, looks good. I would be rolling on the floor laughing if the devs actually go sure thing, replying to this and release the update right away. Thanks, devs. In first instance, Germans didn't need more natives. In fact, they shouldn't get 1 pop units either. Yeah, this is a weird one. Look, this is what I thought, right? Expected the Jaguar Prowl Knight promotion nerf, but why the Founder one? Also, there is not any compensation on other units. Spain shouldn't get instant missionaries. No changes for Maya. Let's see what changes. For the love of God, just axe the multiplier completely. It makes no sense and cause them to be completely busted. That's the Chinacos coming in there. From someone. Oh my god, here we go. We've got the memes, ladies and gents. Nah, how about giving them 1.57 versus Spahi and only Spahi? Oh my god. Way to improve at the same time. Denaturalize. Okay. I'm just having a look through here, see if there's anything else here. Oh, there's horse feed here commenting. Honestly, it would have been better if you just not included any changes at all for Lakota. Yeah, like... I feel like this was just changing something for the sake of changing it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we made it a little bit cheaper, but we removed 2 units and then added 1 back in. It's like why did you bother? Like, it's just strange. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. Yeah, look. Pritchiks may actually be useful now in Age 2. There we go. Me opening the forum right now, surprised to be sure, but a welcome one. Potentially. Yeah, see, people complaining about the Abyssina Zaps, only a slap on the wrist. And obviously the Spa here has been untouched, which is, yeah, pretty crazy, the Spa here, I've got to say. Yeah, Japan haven't really been getting any kind of buff, really. Yeah. People are just sort of welcoming the change like they do, but still saying that there's not enough change, which has kind of always been the same thing pretty much all the time. But there we go, guys. We covered it in less than half an hour, which I think is pretty darn good. It's very, very quick for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Of course, let me know down in the comments below what you think about this upcoming change in November. Is it enough? I feel like it's a little bit light. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like there's still a few things that I don't really understand why they did it. Like the Aztec thing, the Founder change, don't understand that. The Lakota change, that's a bit strange. Japan not getting a great deal of love. Malta not really having any adjustment either. I don't know. I feel like there could have been a few things that they could have definitely maybe added in and addressed. It feels a little light to me. And I feel like some of the really strong civs haven't been addressed enough. Like Hausa, I don't think it's been addressed enough. I still think that's going to be a very, very strong civ. United States might be a different thing, potentially. But that's just me. Of course, let me know down in the comments below what you think. I'll catch you in the next video on the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.